Hey everybody, happy Tuesday, it's Tom. We've got a lot going on this month and a lot to talk about. First thing I want to mention, last month, as you may remember, was Autism Awareness Month. And yesterday we had the opportunity to be demonstrated a new internet resource to help child caregivers and kindergarten teachers and parents and foster parents and professionals identify very early whether a child is demonstrating signs that they may have autism spectrum disorder of some type. We know that the earlier you can intervene and get a child who has autism or an autism spectrum issue, the earlier you can intervene, the more likely it is that you can get that child the therapy they need to have a very good outcome. This wonderful new internet resource, again, toddlertracks.org, we'll put the link up there, is free. They have lots of videos about autism, about what to look for in young children, about what kinds of therapies you can use to address this issue. So I really want to encourage folks to go visit that, but also to spread this resource around the state. It's a great resource, a great free resource for us here in the state, and I appreciate the folks who have taken the time to put it together. It's also National Foster Care Month. We are celebrating all of those selfless individuals who have opened up their homes to care for Georgia's most vulnerable children and youth. But not only them, but also those who support them. So we have our child placement agencies, our social workers, our foster care support groups, and churches who folks like Call to Care and Promise 686 and Chosen for Life, who go out and help foster parents and surround them with the support they need. Just want to thank all of you who are working in this field. Also, just want to encourage folks, you ever considered fostering? You might just want to sort of dip your toe in the water. You could work with one of our support organizations and volunteer to babysit or for foster parents, so the foster parents can get out and you can care for the children, foster children. Might want to cook a meal for a foster family. You might want to become a CASA. In fact, we're going to put up information about how you can become a CASA and about how you can volunteer in some of these foster care support activities so that you can learn more about fostering, and who knows, it might be a great blessing in your life as well. Just want to thank all of our foster parents for the wonderful service they do, because without y'all, we could not care for Georgia's children as we must do. MAAC, the Multi-Agency Alliance for Children, had its annual Starry Night event this past week, and as part of that, they gave out some awards. One award went to the Legacy Award, went to Ms. Tammy Reed, who just retired recently as our permanency director. Tammy is probably one of my favorite people in this agency, and I hated to see her retire, but I'm so glad that she was able to get this award just as a sort of a reward for her many years of service. But also, two of our current employees received awards. First was Tanika Ward. She is now the county director down in Clay and Whitman counties. But she was nominated by the SAG down there, Brumby Dwyer, who had this to say. Tanika Ward has been the case manager, started off as a case manager, and of course now the county director. But she's been the case manager for these children whose initials, interestingly, are W, W, J, and D since 2004. She was the original caseworker for the children, and as county director, she has maintained the children's case to further ensure continuity of care. Throughout the years, she has exemplified true love and compassion that is far above the call of duty. And so I think my understanding is that Tanika, even though she's gone up and become the county director, she has remained on this case to help this family. So both the family is now, the youngest child of the siblings is now 2, has an adoptive family identified. Some of the other children are going to be adopted by the grandmother. Both families have committed to keeping all the children connected. As mentioned earlier, WWJD is all of the children's initials. However, WWJD, What Would Jesus Do, is the model that Tanika Ward operates from daily. We thank you so much, Tanika Ward, for just being you. So thank you, Ms. Ward, for the great work you're doing, and congratulations. Also, Jashawn Roberts, who is the independent living specialist in Region 1, was was nominated by our empowerment youth at the Starry night for an award. They said, for the past 8+ years, Trishawn has been a constant beacon of support for all the kids that she has come into contact with. From her days as a CASA in South Georgia, she has been a true youth advocate and makes sure that youth voices are primary in any given situation. She's extremely dependable when it comes to getting help to organize and plan events, and has always been the first adult supporter to step up when we need an extra chaperone. This, of course, is coming from our foster youth and former foster youth. So in her current role as independent living specialist for Region 1, she holds her peers' feet to the fire if they're not meeting the standards. And at the same time, she celebrates those individuals who are making the lives of young people in care successful. She also makes the youth accountable for the success by helping them identify their own needs and making sure they are part of the process every step of the way. Trishawn Roberts, they say, is the perfect example of an adult supernova. So congratulations to you as well, and thank you for the work you're doing. There's a new benefit I want to tell you about. The Federal Communications Commission, I think recognizing that internet is so needed these days. Children are doing hybrid or virtual schooling. The fact that we still have some folks who are kind of stuck at home, even to apply for food stamps and Medicaid, we're encouraging people to do that online. So the FCC is providing a new temporary emergency broadband benefit to low-income households. This will be $50 a month here in Georgia, and they'll give you a credit towards broadband service fees. The USDA, the Food and Nutrition Service, will provide technical assistance to families that will be eligible either because of their participation in food stamps or because their children receive free and reduced school lunches. This benefit will begin on May 12th and will be a source of relief for families needing support with this very increasingly connected and virtual world. So for more information, we're going to send you to getemergencybroadband.org. We'll put that link up too. Our wonderful Teresa Johnson, who is the head of our work here in our Office of Family Independence, is she and I work are sponsoring, along with DHS and our community partners, a virtual I Work Refugee workshop. And she's inviting all community-based organizations, state agencies, community partners, interested individuals, and other providers who provide direct services to Georgia's most vulnerable families to attend. So if you're interested in assisting refugees, there's a place, I'm going to give you the link to register. And of course, we'll also put Teresa's email up here, so you can email her directly if you have any questions. And Teresa, thanks to all you for all the work y'all are doing in our SNAP education and training unit. Just great work. So speaking of training, all DFAC staff are asked to update their training profiles in the IOTIS system by May 14th. Even if you did it last year, we need to make sure you do it again this year so that we can make sure we're tracking who should be taking what training and make sure that we're not sending you out something that says you have to do a training when you don't have to do that training. Please get this done by May 14th, and I appreciate that. OFI timing, this still looks good. Our ABD Medicaid, 92.4%, Family Medicaid, 96.9%, SNAP, 96.5%, and TANF, 99% timeliness. Really want to send a special thanks to the OFI District 4 staff under the field leadership of Stephen Pollock, Kenzie Williams, and Connie Walker for their dedication. For the month of April, District 4 reached 96.9% standard promptness for renewals. That's really, really good work. So as you can tell, there's a lot going on here. I just got off our state advisory board meeting, and we've got several new members of our advisory board from all over the state. And I was just so impressed with the quality of people that the governor has appointed to serve on our advisory board. Just a wealth of talent and experience. And I think it's going to help us do a much better job here at the agency. Finally, last thing I want to say today is my friend Steve Teskey. I learned from Facebook, is retiring as the chief juvenile court judge in Clayton County. You know, I would normally joke with Steve that I thought he retired years ago. But I want to wish him luck, and if you happen to see Steve, Judge Teskey, tell him I said hey and tell him congratulations. Thanks, everybody, and we'll see you next week. Bye.